Howdy, I'm Darren Hibbs with the 10-Week Bible, and I want to share with you today a brief thought from Genesis chapter 37. Sometimes the Lord sets us up in ways that we never could have imagined. You know the story of Joseph, that his brothers are going to sell him into slavery in Egypt, and that he's going to become the most wealthy and powerful man in all Egypt. But it's how God got him there that I find so amazing. This 17-year-old boy, God is going to set him up on a path that he never would have chosen for himself. No one in their right mind would ever have chosen the path for themselves that God is going to put Joseph on. Let's read this in Genesis chapter 37, starting in verse 5. Joseph had a dream, and when he told it to his brothers, they hated him all the more. He said to them, "Listen to this dream I had. We were binding sheaves of grain out in the field when suddenly my sheaf rose and stood upright, while your sheaves gathered around mine and bowed down to it." His brothers said to him, "Do you intend to reign over us? Will you actually rule us?" And they hated him all the more because of his dream and what he had said. See, Joseph at this time was 17 years old. He's a teenager. Now, I've heard people talk about, well, Joseph shouldn't have told this dream. The Lord was giving it to him to kind of keep it quiet and keep it to himself. And he was irritating and arrogant and all those kinds of things. And we don't have any for sure data on that. It doesn't tell us that. Now, we all have all known 17-year-olds. We were all 17 ourselves at one point, and we know how irritating teenagers can be, especially if they have this kind of knowledge over their brothers. But the Lord gave a 17-year-old dreams of incredible significance, eternal significance. What the Lord is doing through Joseph is going to have eternal consequences. And he gave these dreams to a 17-year-old, knowing that that 17-year-old was going to tell his brothers and his father and his mother what his dreams were. The Lord knew he was going to do this when he gave him these dreams, and the Lord intended for Joseph to tell them these dreams. They needed to know these dreams for that day, decades in the future, when his brothers would meet Joseph again face to face as the ruler of all Egypt, the most consolidated, powerful man in human history up to this point, is going to be their brother. And they needed to know these dreams on the front end. Joseph had no idea what it was going to cost him. Sometimes the Lord has plans for us that if he had told us what the plans were, how to get us there, we would have said no. We would have said, "Not on your life, God. I will not submit myself to this. I don't care what the benefit is on the other side." Joseph is going to become the most powerful and wealthy man in human history up to this point. But I doubt he would have said yes to the process. Sometimes the Lord sets us up for the process so we'll be ready for the blessing on the other side. This kind of thing doesn't happen to everybody. This level of drama in Joseph's life, it's not something that we should all expect, and I hope that you and I would never ask for this. But this kind of thing, the Lord does it in our lives to a lesser extent. The Lord wants to bless us. The Lord wants to move us closer to him. He wants us to grow in our love for him, and sometimes to get us there, he's got to set us up for the process. But in doing so, he's always good. This was more than just a blessing for Joseph. This was to bless all of the world. Joseph is going to later tell his brothers, "Don't be upset at yourself for what you did. The Lord did it so that I could save lives. The Lord did this. The Lord used his brother's wickedness to bless Joseph and even his brothers in all of the world, but in decades in the future. How about you? Are you in the midst of that process right now? Have you come through that process? Stay faithful to the Lord, just like Joseph did. He was going to walk faithfully before the Lord all the days of his trouble, and he had significant trouble. Commit yourself to walking faithfully before the Lord. There's blessing on the other side. It may hurt, it may be tough, but there's blessing on the other side. Keep walking with the Lord. Thanks for watching. I'm Darren Hibbs with the 10-Week Bible. And if you enjoy these videos, give it a thumbs up and comment below. And don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell icon to be notified when we upload more videos. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.